Lesson 4 talks about proportional and non-proportional relationships, and you have done all of the math that you need to for this lesson already. It deals with unit rates, and remember, a unit rate is just a ratio or a comparison of two different quantities where the second or the denominator is 1. So like pages per minute, so per 1 minute, or miles per hour, how many miles in 1 hour. So in this case, you need to find all of the unit rates, and once you find all of them, you determine whether it's proportional or non-proportional. If it is proportional, that means all of the unit rates are equal. If even one unit rate is not equal, then it is non-proportional. So right here I'll just write proportional means all the same unit rates. Okay? So let's look at the first problem. It says the Vista Marina rents boats for $25 per hour. In addition to the rental fee, there is a $12 charge for fuel. Use the table to determine if the number of hours you rent the boat is proportional to the total cost, and then explain. So first of all, we have to fill in the table. Now, you can choose as many hours as you want, but the easiest thing is just to start at 1 and work your way up. So for 1 hour, we're going to have to pay the $25 and $12 for fuel. And again, if you need a calculator, feel free to get one out and just show your 25 plus 12. Oh, I need 12, and it's 37. So it'd be $37 for 1 hour. If I want 2 hours, I'm going to have to pay $25 for the first hour, $25 for the second hour, plus my $12 charge for fuel. And notice, it's not $12 for every hour. Here it says $25 per hour. It's just a $12 charge no matter how many hours you use. So I'd add another 12 on there, and it'd be $62. The last one, I have to pay $25 for the first hour, $25 for the second hour, $25 for the third hour, plus my fuel charge. And it's going to be $87. Once you have your table filled in, you need to find your unit rates and see if it's the same price. When we look at it, I'm going to move it down here to show my work. Remember, when we write rates, it's kind of a rule of thumb that we always put the money on top, because we want cost per hour, not hour per cost. So you'd have 37 over 1. And when you simplify, that's just $37 per hour. The next one would be 62 over 1. Over 2. Because it's $62 for 2 hours. And when we simplify, divide by 2, so that we get our 1 on the bottom. 62 divided by 2 is 31. It would be $31 for 1 hour. Notice, these are not the same number. One's 37 per hour, one's 31 per hour. Because those are different numbers, this is non-proportional. Non-proportional because the unit rates are not equal. If you want, you can still figure out the last one. 87 over 3. You would get 1 hour, and the cost would be $29. So notice they are all different. The next one says, which situation represents a proportional relationship between the hours worked and the amount earned for Matt and Jane? When we look at this, that means one of them is proportional, one is non-proportional. And the easiest way to start off is thinking about what our fractions would be and if they're going to be equivalent. Now here you want your price per hour again, so we're going to keep that on top. So you can almost just write in a fraction bar between all of these. So it would be 12 over 1, and we'd simplify that, and that would be 12. 20 over 2, and we'd simplify that. 20 divided by 2 is 10. And the last one, 31 divided by 3 is 10.3 repeating. So notice these are not the same. That one cannot be the proportional amount. But let's check the other one. 12 divided by 1 is 12. 24 divided by 2 is 12. 36 divided by 3 is 12. So these all have the same unit rates, which means Jane's is the proportional relationship. And notice I worded it a little bit differently on this one. You could say because the unit rates are equal or because the ratios are equivalent. And the very last one says explain what makes two quantities proportional. And by now, hopefully you realize for it to be proportional, the unit rates have to be the same, or the ratios have to be able to be simplified to be the exact same amount.